In this video, I'm going to go over level 2 submaximal pelvic floor series. In this series, we have 5 different positions. Each of these positions are harder than level 1 position, either because of how the pelvic floor is with respect to gravity or how the demand on our body to keep our spine in neutral. So some of these positions are going to put a lot of stretch on certain areas, which is resistance, which is kind of like adding weight if you were lifting weights, or it is load through having to support your body weight. We've got tabletop or the quadruped position, half kneeling position, split standing, wall facing arms overhead, and cactus pose on the wall. All the same positions that you're seeing with the TA Series 2 and the Diaphragm Series 2. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because I did that in Diaphragm, and Diaphragm should be coming first regardless. First position is the tabletop position. Hands and knees, toes engaged to the floor. Wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Fingers are spread wide and pressing into the ground. You're not dumping here. You're pressing away into the floor so your spine is in neutral, and your neck, you want to aim to get it as long as you can. And from here, same thing as in level 1, you are either focusing on the bean in your vaginal opening or your anus or both, and you're gently squeezing around the bean and pulling that bean inward just to connect, or up to like 50%, but not grippy. You're gonna hold that contraction for 3 to 5 seconds, then you let it go all the way back to the starting position and then repeat. As you do that, you wanna try not to hold your breath or squeeze your butt cheeks, or flex or move out of neutral position. 10 to 20 reps, or 1 minute to 2 minutes here. Next position is the half kneeling position. I go a lot into detail in the Diaphragm level 2 series, so I'm going to go through relatively quickly. Hips are, your legs are hip width apart, and your toes are curled under, unless you have an issue with your toes and you can't get there, then that's fine. Your ribs are over your pelvis, and your spine is long. Knee is in line with the middle of your foot. If you need to use a prop to elevate, you can put a couple pillows or a yoga block or 2 underneath that bottom knee to give your hip more freedom. And then in this position, you repeat. We are connecting with the pelvic floor 50%, holding 3 to 5 seconds, letting go completely, and then repeating that for 10 to 20 reps. Because we have 2 sides here, you can just opt to do 10. It's probably a good strategy to start with, but make sure you do both sides. Tendency is for people to get into this position, make sure that your low back is in neutral and your pelvis stays underneath and in line with your ribs. Next position is the split standing position. Maybe a little bit easier, maybe a little bit harder compared to the half kneeling position, depending on how stiff you are. Feet are hip width apart. Front shin is perpendicular to the floor. You're thinking about lifting your head towards the ceiling, using the back of the leg muscles, the calves, maybe the glutes, to keep this leg engaged. Knee is in line with the middle of your foot. Ribs and pelvis are stacked. And then you are doing the same exact thing, connecting with your pelvic floor without cheating. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, go back to the starting position, repeat 10 reps or more, 5 to 10, upwards of 20, because then you have the other side to do. So you may want to do 5 and 5 or 10 and 10, or if you are feeling it and you're really motivated, 20, but don't overdo it. Next position is the wall facing, arms overhead. Get it probably a half of a foot, so 6 inches away from the wall. Pinkies reach up onto the wall. Now, body is in a long straight line. If this happens, you might have are overreaching. So then in that case, step back a little bit or just pay attention and try to not do that. In this position, your arms are just resting on the wall like a shelf, and then you repeat, connect with your pelvic floor, hold 3 to 5 seconds, release, control the release between each rep, 10 to 20 reps or 1 to 2 minutes in that position. Next position, arms stay on the wall the whole time as your pelvic floor is relaxing. Next position is back to the wall, cactus arms. So arms are parallel to the floor. Thumbs are touching the wall. You're not here, you're here. Elbows do not have to be on the wall. From the side, we're using the wall as a shelf. We're not doing a wall sit. We're just pressing our pelvis to the back of the wall. My low back, if I do this, it's too flat. So I want it just in neutral. Shins, again, perpendicular to the floor. And then I am just doing the same exact thing, connecting with my pelvic floor in this position. Notice my head does not have to be on the wall. And then hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Release, repeat, 10 to 20 reps. So in this video, we covered 5 different positions. We covered half kneeling, right and left, tabletop, split standing, wall facing arms overhead, and cactus arms back to the wall. Harder than series 1. You may not be able to get all of these positions. That's okay. Just know that the levels are to give you some sort of framework and map them out with how difficult they typically are with most people. In the next series, we're going to take it up a notch. So this might take you 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Don't rush it. This will, you're going to be doing other things. Like, this does not have to be your sole focus unless you really are. This is really helping you, but know that there are other things that will help progress you through this. If you have any questions, comment below or communicate with me in whatever method we agreed upon. And then like this video. And then next series will either be level 3 series of the pelvic floor or something else within the Reconnect program. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.